from Plastic Tombstone.
This is I Heard Something About That.
Our random podcast we release whenever we have time to talk about
the random stuff we've seen throughout the weeks,
months, whatever it might end to be. Like we did one last week, so we're back. We saw Justice League this week, the last weekend, and
I guess we'll go to full spoiler discussion on that.
We'll go to full spoiler discussion on that, but there's not really. I mean, if you saw the trailer, you pretty much saw the movie, so I don't know if there was. Spoiler alert, Superman was in it.
Nobody saw that coming.
From 1,000 miles away. Anyway.
And then we're going to talk about the Infinity War trailer that dropped today.
Yeah. So, let's talk about that first.
Okay.
Obviously, it's been a long time coming, and it dropped earlier this morning. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean...
It looked pretty much like the leaked footage we've seen.
Yeah, it was a lot of it, except for Thor had his eye patch, which was interesting.
Yeah, I like how they've kept that out of all the trailers. Like, even the Thor Ragnarok trailer didn't show some of the scenes with him with the eye patch.
Yeah.
Or his eye missing. But
it was pretty simple. It was just sort of a overarching trailer, kind of converging all the characters together.
It doesn't really look like it spoils much. It looks like it's just kind of like, here's all the characters in this movie. Get ready for it.
Yeah, it's pretty much like you have 2 minutes to show all the characters. That's about all the time you have. Because they showed like Vision and Thanos. Thanos didn't have any armor, which was kind of weird. But
maybe he gets that when he gets all the gems or something.
Yeah, something like that. I think somebody was saying something like he is so confident he doesn't feel like he needs any armor. So that's sort of what they were trying to go for, is that like he's just like, I could just walk out here in essentially a metal tank top and beat the crap out of everybody. So maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe, like you said, when he gets all powered up, he'll knock him out.
You want to take on bets on who one of the big three dies in this one?
One of the big three, is that Cap, Thor, and Iron Man?
Yep.
I don't see Thor dying.
I think Iron Man's gone. I think Tony Stark will be dead
at the end of this one.
Either dead or retired.
Yeah, I think he'll make it through this one, but I think
I don't know. It seemed pretty bleak about it. Like the whole trailer about him seemed pretty like.
Yeah.
It starts off looking kind of depressing around him. I was like, I don't know, because they all keep talking about like they're all kind of done after this.
Yeah, I feel like he might make it to the fourth one's filming now, so I think he'll make it to that one. But again, I think if they were smart, they would not like recast him.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't recast him. Don't say this is the new Tony Stark. Just make somebody else Iron Man.
I want to see more of the classic suit. If we only had one movie with it, I don't think we need another suit already.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not Iron Man. He doesn't need to change his armor every movie.
But let's talk about like how different the trailer felt, because in my opinion, when I watched it, I felt way differently than when I watched Justice League, the trailer. Just because Justice League, there was a lot of, who is that?
Yeah.
What's going on?
And it just didn't. Once again, Justice League just felt like it was trying to play catch up to Marvel, so it didn't feel as genuinely just like they built all this. Atmosphere.
Like you can see all these characters and you know where they're coming from, and you know it's not like, why is Scarlet Witch there? Well, Scarlet Witch is there because she teamed up with Captain America at the end of Civil War. Like, you know why she's there.
Yeah.
We'll know why Black Panther and his people are all there when that one comes out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, so there's...
You know why Doctor Strange is there.
Exactly. It's not like, who is this person? Let's introduce him. It's just like you can hit the ground running.
With a ton of characters.
With a ton of characters. And... lo and behold, Winter Soldier made a comeback.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think,
also looks like I couldn't tell, but it looks like Loki may turn on him again.
Yeah,
it looks like he's handing over the Tesseract. It may not. It may be. They may be trying to fool us, and it could be.
Yeah, it could be a misdirect.
Yeah,
I feel like the Star Wars trailer, the new Star Wars trailer, is doing that a lot with like a cut that looks like it's handing it to somebody, but it's sort of like.
I hope so. I think Loki should stay a good guy because his movie version has had so many flip flops. It's time. I think people.
It's time to just stick to something.
Me personally, his character is a likable character, so leave him good.
I'll throw a wild stab in the dark out there. I think Loki might sacrifice himself to kill Thanos at the end of the whole thing.
That could be. Yeah, he could be the big death in this.
Because that could make his character arc mean something.
Yeah.
Like he finally did the right thing, or I don't know. It might not happen in this movie, but to me it looked like Thanos beat the shit out of Spider-Man and Tony's messed up about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because that's...
Why would Thanos go after Spider-Man of all people?
Because it showed that video of that circle thing.
Yeah, I know.
And he went to attack it. And I guess Spider-Man... Well, he's headstrong, so he just goes after. He doesn't know what he's dealing with. And essentially gets the crap kicked out of him. And if it takes place in New York, which is where Doctor Strange was, it would make sense that Tony would stumble across that. That's my guess, because he looks like when he's like being sad. It looks like he's holding somebody's arm or something.
Good.
But I mean, Spider-Man's clearly not going to die. He's got another sequel
I love
to
Spider-Man, but that would make for an interesting story.
Well, that would be a reason for Tony to bring everybody together. Like,
it's just weird that Thanos would come to Earth and like
Spider-Man's the first person he meets.
I'm gonna beat up Spider-Man, this little kid.
Well, I think it's like not like he picked him.
I know.
He just like stumbles across him.
It's like this is what brings us together. Thanos beat up some kid.
What about those aliens?
What about them? They look kind of crazy.
They look like xenomorphs, but like with more arms. I'm like, I didn't know if you knew what those were.
I don't know what they are.
Just,
I have no clue.
I feel like with that many characters, you got to have some sort of cannon fodder in the thing for everybody to beat the crap out of.
You got to have that one big scene where the camera pans around all the characters beating up something.
Yeah, but that looks. It's hard to tell. It doesn't look like it gave a whole lot away. Like, not to rag on it, but unlike Justice League, which felt like we saw the whole movie before we even went to it.
Right. And there was no humor in it.
Yeah, there wasn't any real humor in it at all.
It's pretty heavy. It's a pretty heavy trailer.
Except for the part at the end where Mantis does that little wave.
Oh yeah,
which was pretty good.
Which is, I mean, it's not really.
It's not really humor, but it's a dash of lightheartedness almost.
Yeah.
But that was like it. Everything else was just sort of dark.
It was just like, oh crap, this is coming.
Yeah. But it looks good. I mean, I'm interested to see.
I can't wait, man. It's nuts to think that me and you went to a midnight screening of the Avengers and it was like, oh my god, I couldn't believe we're watching,
18 movies ago.
Yeah, we're watching the Avengers come together on the big screen, like, and now like all these movies have come out and they've all been. Some haven't been great. Some have been okay. None of the Marvel movies I don't think are terrible, but some of them are just okay.
Like Ant-Man. Ant-Man's just okay.
The
it's
first
not
two
like
Thor movies are kind of meh.
Yeah.
The second and third Iron Mans are kind of sore spots too, but
yeah.
But the other Captain Americas, man, the Captain Americas were so good, all of them.
Yeah, Winter Soldier I particularly liked a lot.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that just kind of blew me away, like surprisingly.
Well, it's like it feels like Marvel's doing something different, which is it's sort of like giving everybody different kinds of movies.
Yeah.
In the superhero genre, as opposed to, again, we're not turning this into a DC Marvel thing, but what DC's trying to do is this. It seems like the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is like they want you to realize everything exists in the same universe, kind of. But it also doesn't feel like it all feels like origin stories, all of them.
Yeah.
Like even like Wonder Woman felt like an origin story. Batman vs Superman felt like an origin story to the Justice League, and Justice League felt like an origin story to like more Justice League. I don't know. It was hard to say. But I don't know. It seems like they have an idea. And it's interesting to finally see 10 years later those ideas actually manifest.
And to see like Sony, letting Spider-Man finally jump over and
yeah.
Did you hear about Disney possibly buying Fox?
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. The talks are back on now, though.
Good God, please buy the X-Men rights. Please.
That's a good way to kick off the new phase.
It would be, and that would reignite my passion for superhero movies. Because after this next phase, it's like, where do we go? Who are you going to introduce now? I
mean, the Mad Titan. He's a good villain. I think his portrayal of him was really good too. So like the little bit you saw of Thanos,
yeah,
like he's just sort of like knows he's badass. And just sort of toying with everybody, especially apparently when he gets the gauntlet, all bets are off.
Yeah.
And in the trailer, it only looked like he had 2 of the stones.
I wonder if Adam Warlock's going to show up.
He's supposed to show up in Guardians 3.
Yeah, I don't know if they talked about him.
I don't know if Guardians 3 is coming out before the next Avengers movie. Because the next Avengers movie is supposed to be a continuation of this one.
Yeah.
But it's like 18 months from next year. So it's like 2 years from now, probably.
God, that sucks.
But I don't know what's coming out between that.
Make movies faster. Come on, Marvel.
Yeah. To their credit, the effects in the trailer look really good.
Yeah, that's the thing you can't say about Marvel is like all their effects are really good.
Top notch. I don't even know. Like, I say it all the time, but Black Panthers.
Yeah, Black Panther looks awesome.
Like, how is that like CG? That doesn't.
I know.
I get it because of the Uncanny Valley, because of the face. That's a hard thing to pull off. So I guess maybe suits are a lot easier. Because of mocap and all that stuff, but I
don't know.
I never would have guessed that wasn't a dude in a suit.
It just shows when you get the right people to work on the right stuff, and really work on it hard and put their heart into it, man. Yeah. It's usually pretty damn good.
My only gripe is that Thanos looked a little pink.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because he was like had that red hue around him and it just sort of like made him pink.
It could be.
But he didn't really look purple, which he is purple. I don't know if they just decided.
Maybe they're just mixing him and Galactus together.
Maybe. That'd be... That would be cool, though, if Fantastic Four came and they made like a real Galactus, not Cloud Galactus.
I know. Big pink and purple guy walking around.
Yeah, those big horns. He just ate worlds, didn't he?
But God, if they pulled it off right, it would still be kind of creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about making it look right. I mean, I feel like they joked about it in the first X-Men. Well, we want me to wear yellow spandex. I mean, like, but don't make it bright yellow. Make it like muted yellow or whatever, you know?
You can pull it off. I mean, if they've proven that the Captain America suit worked.
Yeah, somehow the Captain America suit, like, it just looks like... Make it look like it functions in the real world.
Yeah.
I never understood why people do cosplay like 100% trying to match the cartoon. Like when they do Link. Like, Link wouldn't wear one shade of bright green tunic. He wouldn't wear that. It would be like faded and sort of cross-stitched. Like, why make it look like you're out of place when, like, in real life, stuff has multiple layers and multiple colors? Just look at, like, the costumes in Game of Thrones. That's what, I mean.
But sometimes you can do that and not make it work. Justice League.
Yeah. You can make it a little, like, too muted almost. Like
the
nothing.
Flash's costume doesn't look. It looks fucking weird.
He looks sort of like a Power Ranger, right?
Yeah, but he also has like these wires all over it and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah,
I didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get it either. We'll get into
that.
But yeah, Avengers looks awesome. 6 months away, so
yeah, can't wait for us to sit down and talk about that because that's gonna be one hell of an event.
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing like it in cinema.
Yeah, I don't think anything like this has happened, right? Like anything that's
Not
built.
that I can think of, no. And it seems like every movie company wants to jump on the cinematic universe bandwagon, and it's not working out for any of them.
Well, because it's you just got to build to it, you know.
You got to make a good movie first.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't make a movie planning on a cinematic universe. I mean, you can, but make sure you put all your attention into your movie and make sure it's good.
Yeah.
Then you can expand upon it.
Yeah. Because by themselves, I think it's because by themselves something doesn't seem as exciting as the group.
Yeah.
Like a solo Aquaman doesn't sound as appealing as a Justice League movie, obviously. But you do that first, and then you make it make sense. Then you wouldn't have to go through the whole Aquaman, come on, be my friend. Just kidding. I'm gonna go get drunk and jump in the ocean. I mean, it's like you didn't need that. And again, we're diving into it. But you got anything else you want to talk about?
That I went and see. I don't know. I want to talk about this last time. I forgot, but we were talking about kind of things we've done the past few months, and I went and seen Mother.
I heard about that movie. I heard it's a little insane.
It comes out on Blu-ray the 12th of this month, but it's when we went to me and you went to. I forgot what movie me and you went to go see, but it was played the trailer, and we were just like, what?
Yeah,
because the trailer was like, "You'll never forget where you were when you saw Mother."
Yeah, it was a very dramatic trailer,
but they did it deliberately to make people go see it, thinking it was like this thriller movie, and it's not.
Oh yeah. So
it was kind of a well played thing, but I thought it was a brilliant movie. I know you don't like extreme movies, and it was definitely a sensory overload. But one thing that came out of it is Paramount actually, like even after all the backlash, Paramount is like actually backing the movie, and I think that's awesome that a movie company isn't just bending to the will of everyone. Because typically something like that happens, they're like, "Oh, we're sorry, we don't have anything to do with this director anymore. This movie's."
Yeah.
But Paramount was like, "Hey, movies are different. We don't want to make the same old movies all the time."
That's true.
And I was like, "That's awesome. Finally, a movie company's not just like, we gotta figure out what people like."
Yeah, not everybody's on the defensive all the time.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. That's one of the really good things that came out of that movie. I think even if even people hate it or whatever, it's like at least the movie company is actually standing up for a movie that's different.
Yeah, there's hundreds of millions of people in the United States alone. Like, not everybody's gonna have the same taste, and you and me don't have the same taste in things. It's like
not everybody wants to see the goddamn Emoji Movie.
Exactly. Like, there's a lot of things out there that people like. You and me give two shits about 50 Shades of Grey, but there's a lot of people who like that. But
right.
So you can't just say everybody's got to do this and everybody's got to watch this, because then we're not individuals anymore after that point. So do different things for different people. The only gamble there is a lot of money on the line sometimes, and a lot of people don't like to take that gamble, which is what took Deadpool so long to come out.
Yeah.
But look at that movie, highest grossing superhero origin story ever.
Yeah, and it's just like. Just make, not everything has to be PG-13. Not everything has to be marketed to kids.
Yeah. I think the biggest reason they market to kids is because kids are up for multiple viewings.
Exactly. But it's like, market kid stuff to kids. Stop marketing
stuff
that you know. There's obviously adults will go see more adult movies. Look at the 80s. I mean, we were watching, RoboCop was a
RoboCop,
violent ass movie, man, but
yeah, kids found a way to watch that.
yeah, I watched it. I don't even remember being that violent when I was a kid,
Well, that got toned down a lot. I was reading about that. Like, it got an NC-17 rating like 3 different times because it was so like violent. There was more squibs in that movie than any movie ever.
The uncut version of that is amazing.
Yeah, it's like, that guy gets shot on that table like way too long. It's almost comically long how long he gets shot for, and they had to cut like it was like 8 seconds long, and they cut it down to like 2 because it was. But he was like on the table still getting shot by Ed 209 or whatever.
Has there been any news on that Judge Dredd show?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
So, I mean, last I heard, Carl Urban was like interested in playing the role of Dredd again, but it wasn't going to be just about Judge Dredd. It was going to be like about Mega City. So different judges and stuff like that. I
hope it's okay. I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
I really enjoyed Dredd, so I hope they don't ruin that.
The vibe of that.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell with those movies. Dredd definitely felt like a character right out of the 80s. Just like the no-nonsense guy who's just going to go kill everybody.
And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you don't need the character to have like a weakness.
Well, it's fun. That's why I enjoyed John Wick so much, because it was just like everybody was afraid of him because he couldn't be killed, and it's just like no matter how many people you send at him, it's like he figures out a way, especially in 2.
And it's one of those things too where I think anybody can relate to that. There's not a point where somebody's been like, I wish I could take this person down, or I wish people, couldn't stop me for something,
He killed 186 people in John Wick 2, up from like 78 in the first one. And it's just like, they just went after him with everything. One of my favorite scenes in that movie, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert.
I did. I've seen it.
But I'm talking about anybody's listening.
Any of you people.
Yeah, any of you people who are listening. But that part where he gets the assassins all start ganging up on him. So he's just walking down the street constantly getting attacked by different people who are disguised. And he's just like, he just needs a fucking break because he's been shot like 3 times. And it was just like something like movies like that. Like, people like heroes. I mean, it's universal, You kind of want to see somebody win the day, and you kind of want to see the bad guys go bad, but you also want to see other things too.
Yeah, so just
make different movies and try different things. You never know what you're going to enjoy. Right. So that's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got as far as movies and stuff.
Other than that, I got nothing. I've been just playing Minecraft of all things lately.
Play any more Mario Odyssey?
A little bit. I've been playing a lot of...
just can't get into it as much.
It's just... I think about Mario Odyssey is I think it's an enjoyable game. I'm just not attached to the story. So
you don't like hats?
It just feels like a fun game I play when I got a little bit of time,
that's kind of the thing with Nintendo, though. It's like it's a system that they make games that you can just pick up and play, and
casual games,
get the fun out of it and move on.
I got Splatoon 2.
How's that?
That game is awesome, super fun. They have it's like a multiplayer match, but there's obviously a multiplayer game, but there's obviously a lot of there's about an 8-hour single player campaign, which is pretty fun. But basically, Splatoon is like a multiplayer game without guns, and you're squids who make ink. You essentially have to like it's called Turf Wars, one of the main events, but you have to paint as much of the arena as you can while killing the other team, and you dive under, and that's how you reload and all that stuff. And it's a really interesting mechanic. But the thing I like about it is it's one of those games where it's like the matches are only 3 minutes long. And every 2 hours, they rotate out the maps you play. So you play the same 2 maps for a couple hours, and then it rotates it out. So it's not like Halo. Remember when we were like, we never play that level ever because it never shows up in the rotation. This way you're playing all the levels on a different basis. And it's like 3 minutes. It's like you can play I can go on lunch for 30 minutes and play 4 matches and then just go back to work, And it's one of those games that, again, it feels like a fighting game. It feels like something
Do you think
the Switch is awesome for. You just pick up and play.
Do you think Nintendo, everybody kind of makes fun of them for kind of being stubborn in their ways, I guess, But you think they're going to kind of withstand the test of time as far as, people may get tired of playing, these really epic games and stuff, and games may become not as popular, but people will still pick up and play Nintendo games because they're fun? Do you think that maybe they're kind of...
Well, they're smart because they're curbing attention spans, too.
Yeah.
Because attention spans are shorter now.
Exactly.
So some people don't want to play a 30-minute match of a game where you would just want to be a serial killer and you end up being a camp counselor and watching half the match. Friday the 13th, the game.
Friday the 13th, the game.
Like
a game I have not played since me and you played it.
Well, it was too long, man.
It is.
It was like insufferable to have to sit there and watch somebody else play before you got the chance to play again.
Yeah, it was
just like,
it's a long, drawn-out game, and it just made me not want to play it again.
You should 100% be able to quit.
Yeah.
Or go to another lobby or something. Having to sit through 15 minutes of watching somebody else, it's not... No. It's not why you picked up the game. You picked up the game to play it.
Yep.
So
it's kind of fun to watch it if you want to sit down and watch it, but you should have the option not to.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Fortnite. I mean, we went all over all this.
Yeah, we've already. But Fortnite is awesome.
Yeah, Fortnite is fun. I got 25 the other day.
Really?
Yeah. Close.
I hadn't played it in a while. I've been playing WWE 2K18, but
it's so fun. It's another one of those games you just pick up and play a couple matches and then you just put it down. I like that, especially when you have a busy schedule.
Right.
Now, when I have like time, I'm playing Assassin's Creed, but that's more of a, like, you got to sit down and like sink a lot of time into it. And
yeah.
When you have that, it's good, but it's also good to have these casual pick up and play games, which I'm trying to get Injustice 2, so I can start playing that
too. I'm gonna wait for the deluxe edition, I guess, that comes with all the characters.
Yeah, the turtles and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. You ready to get into some spoilers, Justice League?
Yeah, let's talk about Justice League.
All right. We're full spoilers for Justice League. We're about to dig deeper into it. It came out 2 weeks ago. I think if you haven't seen it, you probably don't want to see it. So
yeah, so wait for the Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah. So we ragged on this movie a little bit because it felt like they were rushing things.
Yeah, I mean, neither one of us were really all that excited to go see it.
Yeah. I was actually hearing like pretty bad things about it.
Me too. I heard it was unwatchable quite a few times.
Yeah. And we're honest here. It was enjoyable.
It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the train wreck I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be much worse.
It was definitely a movie.
It was definitely a movie. There was definitely some issues with it, but there were some cool moments too.
One of the biggest issues I had with it was the special effects.
Yeah, it was sort of jarring, right? It's like sometimes they looked
really bad.
Sometimes it looked like okay. Like sometimes, like when you saw Cyborg, he looked fine. He looked like a cyborg. But then sometimes you saw him and he looked bad,
out of place, and
yeah, he looked like a sci-fi channel character.
And then like whenever we were talking about Aquaman, when he goes back into the ocean, when he's talking to Batman, and there's like a close up of him, and he's like obviously in front of a big green screen. It's just like,
yeah,
God, that looks bad.
It was
horrible.
It definitely felt like it suffered under the rushed banner. Like it definitely felt like it was trying to cram a lot into 2 hours. Superman's
lip was missing.
Yeah. So did anybody else notice that? I didn't tell your girlfriend about it. I whispered it to you before it started. And at the end of the movie, she goes, "What was wrong with his face? Why didn't it look right?" And I was like, "Well, he had a mustache, and for some reason, it cost $25 million to CG that thing off his face for 5 minutes of reshoots because he was contractually obligated to have it, instead of just making him have a beard or shaving it off and growing it back in a couple weeks."
They should have CG'd his whole damn face at that point.
Or fucking bite it. It probably cost less than $25 million to pay off his contract so he could shave his mustache and bring it back. It's just like, don't spend all this money to make it look really hokey. There was a spot in the beginning where he's talking to some kids and you could definitely tell something's wrong with his face. And then every time he smiled, his upper lip was like too high and he didn't have any stubble on his face. It was very, very distracting. And it wasn't 100% bad, but it was definitely noticeable.
Yeah, there was definitely some bad CG and stuff in that movie. That was my biggest distraction from the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the movie does start off pretty slow. It is kind of a slow build.
Yeah. My biggest problem with the thing is the same problem I had with Suicide Squad, is that I felt like two different people made that movie.
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel like it had like
a cohesive vision.
Yeah.
Like that Avengers trailer feels, or the Avengers movie felt. Like that felt like one movie. That felt like
it felt like there was no real point. It felt like there was like a bunch of scenes, and then they're like, "Fuck, we got to throw some comedy in here," and then like,
yeah, it was just like, and you could kind of tell where some of the scenes were reshot because like the characters' mannerisms and sort of like everything about him like changed a little bit. And there's a really awkward scene where like Bruce and Wonder Woman were talking, and he sort of like makes fun of Steve Trevor or something.
Yeah.
And she gets really like mad. It felt like really forced. It felt like they were trying. It felt like Wonder Woman was successful, so they tried to add more Wonder Woman scenes in there.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Sort of make her the leader, as opposed to.
They did say she's like, "I've got to be the leader."
I'm not ready to be the leader. I just want to be a fighter, and I'm just like, that's weird. It just felt like disjointed, like scenes were missing, or
And they also made Batman look freaking useless.
I mean, wasn't he always? I never really understood that.
Yeah, but usually they show off like him with his gadgets and like using his ninja skills. Even if he's beating up like kind of lower enemies, this one it didn't do that. It just he kind of just gets beat up and hides and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think here's the problem is I think they were trying to showcase everybody else.
Yeah.
They were trying to showcase the Flash and they were trying to showcase Aquaman because you hadn't seen them before and people were like clamoring for that. But if those people had their solo movies, you wouldn't be as clamoring for that. You'd be more interested in like the combo moves that they were doing and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what's interesting about that is like it happened a lot in Avengers. Like especially everybody remembers that scene where they're panning around and all the Avengers are sort of working together.
This one it pans around and Batman's hiding somewhere.
Yeah, and it just I don't know. It was definitely more enjoyable than I thought it was, and I thought it was fine. I definitely didn't think it was the slog everybody was saying it was.
It was just It still suffered from a lot though.
Yeah.
One of those things being you said was rushing all this into one movie.
It didn't need to be. I mean, there's a big petition now online to get like the Zack Snyder cut, which is 3 hours long, which is supposed to have a bunch of Cyborg backstory and a bunch of Flash backstory, which would have been interesting, but they wanted to cut it down, so they cut like an hour out of the movie.
Well,
and
I don't really care much about Flash or Cyborg, so I don't.
So the problem I had with the Flash is because I felt like his humor was forced too. Like they were like
just annoying. He felt like fucking Jesse Eisenberg.
It was just like we're trying to make this quirky character. And I've never been in a movie before, especially a movie like that, where somebody said a joke and nobody laughed. Like there's always somebody's like, you always hear some dude chuckle or somebody thinks it's funny, but he was telling like 5 jokes in a row to Batman about brunch and stuff.
I think he was just more annoying than anything. It was just like, shut up. You're. And speaking of Jesse Eisenberg,
yeah, he shows up at the end.
Aggravating. God, I don't want him to be Lex Luthor.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if Superman's that great of a character anyway.
Yeah, but Lex Luthor's a pretty good character.
Yeah. They showed Deathstroke, though.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He looks kind of cool.
Yeah, too bad he was on Jesse Eisenberg and ruined the whole fucking thing.
So, some of the things I did like about it is I did like, aside from Superman's lips, they sort of made him like, he came back with like a renewed happiness for life or whatever.
Yeah, he was
much more original
mopey.
Superman. Like he even his suit was brighter and he was just kind of like cracking jokes and
talking about justice and
yeah, he's like, come on, he's super strong. Nobody can really beat him. Like I don't even know why the other Justice. I think that was what bothered me the most is like they needed him. They needed him more than anything.
They're all just like, God, please, this needs to work.
Just Superman needs to be here because he's the only one who can do this. Like, why are all you here then?
One of my favorite scenes in that movie is when Superman's whooping all their asses and Flash goes running around him and you see like
he slowly turns because
Superman's just slowly turning his head looking at Flash and Flash is like, oh fuck.
He was very confused. That was a really good scene. He was very confused and I thought the underwater stuff looked pretty cool even though it was why is the only mother box they couldn't find the one that was just hiding in an apartment in the middle of the city? Like, the other ones are protected by people in the middle of these temples, and he's like, oh, there it is. But he can't find this one. It's just hanging out. One of my favorite memes is...
hiding in plain sight.
One of my favorite memes about it is, oh, so Batman discovers there's an alien invasion and immediately takes a 2-week vacation to go talk to a guy who's good at swimming. Which was weird. He was like, oh, there's demons. Why weren't the parademons attacking everything all the time if they smelled fear? If it just felt like...
Yeah, we smell fear, okay? There's a lot of people scared of a lot of shit.
Yeah, why aren't they
well,
attacking
it's not an epidemic.
all the time? I just wish, like,
honestly,
practical effects were more in tune with that movie.
I actually thought of a plot that I would have loved better than what we saw.
Tell me.
I think the movie should have been that Batman knows that something's coming. So he brings back Superman on his own, and Superman goes fucking like he does, like just crazy. And the movie basically is Batman trying to bring the Justice League together to get Superman back. The Superman's basically the villain until the end.
Much better.
I think that would have been awesome.
Much better. I mean, I think that was the original idea because there was teased that there was that black suited Superman.
Yeah.
And then he could have had a beard and it would have been fucking fine.
See? God, hire us, DC. Fuck.
There's some cool scenes. Like I didn't like the look of Steppenwolf. I think he looked like a CG villain,
and he also sounded stupid.
Yeah,
he looked like a CG villain and sounded like a fucking video game boss battle every time he talked.
Video game boss battle.
Hello, I am Steppenwolf. I'm going to get the cube or box or.
All right, I don't understand Steppenwolf at all. Like, explain to me his purpose. He was waiting until Superman was not around to come to Earth, but like Superman wasn't around for like a really long time before that, and he never came around.
Maybe
when Aquaman wasn't even born.
I don't fucking know. Man.
There was a cool Easter egg in the flashback where you got to see a Green Lantern for once. That was pretty neat.
One of the Green Lantern Corps. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, apparently there was a couple of them there, but one of them died, and you saw like the ring fly off. So the hint that the Green Lantern is actually there.
That's awesome. And
in Justice League's defense, I think they're sort of stepping in the right direction. They're sort of embracing it a little bit that it's goofy.
Yeah.
So maybe the next movie won't be as like disconnected.
Maybe. We'll see.
Because it just feels like it was half Batman versus Superman, half trying to be the Avengers.
Yeah, I wish they would have, because obviously they killed Batman or Superman and Batman vs. Superman. I just feel like it's like, oh, we killed him just to bring him back in this movie for just a brief moment to have.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot of that was just like kind of like unnecessary. It could have been all avoided.
And why didn't the Flash like electrocute everybody? If he can like poke the mother box and reignite Superman's life, why when he was pushing that truck weren't those kids' faces singed off? And how fast was he pushing that truck?
Those people were just like, it's cool. We can withstand.
Their livers would have been like sucked to the back of the seats because they were going so fast.
We can withstand this. You need a special suit for this, but we're cool.
Yeah, just push me really fast. I mean, there was a lot of playful nods, which is kind of what you wanted to see. Like Flash is like pushing the car, and then you see just Superman carrying the whole building, and it's just like it's funny moments like that helped the movie. I think for me, it just made it like okay.
And then when the end credit scene is Superman and Flash do start a race.
Yeah, they start the race, which is an old comic storyline,
mm-hmm.
and Superman was very interested to see if he was actually as fast as the Flash because he'd never seen anybody like that. And obviously, like you said, one of the cooler moments was like Superman seeing him, and he never understood that because he like nobody's ever seen him go that fast before. So Superman like reacting to it was really neat scene. I just don't understand the speed that some of these superheroes can go. Like sometimes you can see the Flash. Like, can he adjust it? Is that how it works?
I guess.
Like, because sometimes he's like a bolt of lightning. He's like 1 second he's across the city and back in 1 second. But sometimes it takes him a really long time to run around this 3 square mile little nuclear plant.
Maybe it's just kind of like us when we run. Maybe he's just sometimes it's a brisk.
Yeah, sometimes he's just kind of trotting.
Yeah,
and sometimes he's like, oh! I don't know. Superman was kind of the same way. I never understood like the race aspect because like Flash was clearly faster, right?
Yeah,
he would have to be. That's all he's
got.
got.
If not, then
there's no reason for the Flash if he's not as faster than Superman. But is there any? Did this renew your interest in it at all, or it kind of kept it the same?
Kind of kept it the same, honestly. I mean, it was okay, but I didn't leave the movie going, man, I can't wait for the next one. I just kind of went, I guess we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like, it wasn't like
Batman sure was useless in this movie.
I'm happy I didn't hate it, which, you know, we said that before. We didn't want to go in a movie and just be like, ugh. It was worth.
It definitely had problems, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
The end of the movie was definitely much more enjoyable than the first half.
Yeah, the first half was kind of like, ugh.
I just wish the movie would have been them versus Superman. I think that would have been so awesome.
That'd have been a cool story. I kind of hoping that was going to happen, but it only happened for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, because the fight with them was awesome.
Yeah, and then it was like Superman was just like, oh, I love Lois Lane. I'm going to hang out in a cornfield for a while.
I'm going to stand out here in this cornfield. Here's some close-ups of me in front of a green screen.
And let me ask you this. I get it was a joke, but why did Batman buy the bank to get Martha Kent's farm back when he could have just paid off her fucking mortgage and bought her house?
Because he's rich, bitch.
That's all he does is he's rich, right?
He's like, I bought the bank, bitch.
Me and my girlfriend felt the same way. Did you feel like Ben Affleck just wasn't feeling being like?
Yeah, I kind of felt that way. Maybe because they made Batman fucking useless in this movie.
Yeah. Well, he just didn't look like he was into it, like at all.
Well, just didn't. Once again, Batman was kind of the guy who was like he was more of a cheerleader than anything.
It's like, come on, guys, we can do it.
Come on, we need to get this done. We got to get this done, guys. Hey, can I have some scenes where I do some awesome stuff? No.
He definitely felt more powerful in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, because he didn't do anything in this movie. He beat up one parademon at the beginning, and he didn't really beat him up. He just kind of shot him with a net.
And then he exploded.
Yeah. That's about it.
And then he saw mother box pictures. So he was like, oh, I gotta find these boxes.
I gotta go find this fucking...
They seem important.
This sexy man swimming in the water, shirtless.
He was very bro, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Aquaman, the bro.
They made him very douchey.
Well, I think, like...
Because they know everybody's going to make fun of Aquaman, so...
Yeah, so make him fucking Khal Drogo and, like, a foul-mouthing badass.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fine. You could definitely fill a lot of hands in the cookie jar, but it wasn't the train wreck I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it definitely had problems, but... And obviously it could have been a lot better.
But again, my biggest problem is I felt like I saw the movie before I went to it.
Yeah.
Like...
And once again, if they'd done the Batman, if they'd done Superman, like them trying to defeat Superman, that could have done, Batman brought him back and he thinks he fucked up. So that's him getting the Justice League to come help him stop Superman. And you don't have the whole end of the world scenario again, because it's going to come back again.
Yeah.
The next Justice League is going to be the end of the world scenario with Darkseid.
So this is, I am thinking about this, about superhero movies in general. And I think what I liked about Avengers is it felt like it was the characters' lives at stake and not the Earth.
Yeah.
Like it felt like this there's only so many end of the world scenarios we can deal with.
You think superheroes finally just like, fine, fuck it, take it.
Yeah, fuck, who cares? It's the end of the world. But this felt like more like the characters we've seen are under attack.
Yeah.
They're defending themselves, not necessarily Earth. So I think it makes it a more personal story. And it's really hard. Like, how many lasers in the sky do we need that are going to wipe out the world or whatever? They did it in Ninja Turtles, for Christ's sakes. We don't need it. It doesn't always have to be end of the world stakes. There's a lot of examples of things that are very small stakes.
Yeah.
And still enjoyable. John Wick affected nobody but himself. It wasn't like, oh, the world's going to end if I don't get this guy.
Giant blue laser beams coming from the sky.
Yeah, it's just like, I know I come back to that movie a lot, but it's just like, I like seeing a movie that's not like all about saving the world all the time. I get that's what superheroes are.
I like the end fighting and stuff at the Justice League. I think it may have been better if they didn't have like the CG like dead world or whatever they were fighting in. It made it look a little out of place.
Yeah, and that Russian family,
Yeah, you followed them quite a bit,
and then just got pushed by a truck.
I was like, why are they showing these people? This has got to be leading to something. Oh,
nope.
Yeah? No? You don't? You couldn't just show the whole town? Like, you had to follow this one family, like, through multiple...
make it seem like they were important when they weren't?
Yeah, they had, like, 4 or 5 scenes throughout the movie, not just, like, one, like...
Yeah, give us some backstory and some characters, like, we're watching, or more action scenes with them, not Russian family. Like, if they meant something, it would have made sense. But I guess I understand it was there to, like, humanize the whole situation because they were sort of making it, like...
But you could have done that with the whole town. Like, the whole town being like, oh, shit, we're...
Yeah, it made it seem like they're the only Russian family left alive.
It does.
In the
And
town.
then you see all the whole town running. I'm like, wait, why were we following that one town? Like, that one family? The whole town? There's a whole town? What?
Yeah, that movie cost so much money to make, too. I hope they, like, learn their lesson and, like, take a step back.
They should.
Like, just chill. We didn't need a full-on Justice League movie that quickly.
No.
We really didn't.
We need a Batman movie.
Yeah. I don't even know if Ben Affleck's going to make it to that one.
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm hearing he's like kind of, I think I need to bow out gracefully before all the shit hits the fan. Because I think he really couldn't handle it when like everybody was like, oh, this movie. So let me ask you this. Who do you, if he steps down, who do you think should be Batman? You have an idea of anybody?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman should be Batman.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That'd be a little alarming. I don't think he would. I don't think he'd take that job. I don't know. I can't think of anybody.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Oh, you're picking the old Batman.
Yeah, well, they kind of make it out like this is old Batman because he's like, I'm getting too old for this. And remember when we used to fight wind-up penguins? And
yeah,
it's like, when did all that happen? Like,
yeah, where's that movie?
Is this Batman's backstory already? Is this it?
Yeah, that's all the Batman backstory you get. Well, I feel like DC relies very heavily on everybody to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I don't always know what's going on.
I think that's the thing with the movie I thought. Like, I was like, if I didn't know who Cyborg and some of these characters were,
Yeah.
I might have been a little confused throughout the whole movie. Like, even though it kind of gives you an idea who they are, I still was like,
Well, the Flash is
Wait.
like, oh, I'm really fast.
who's this and what?
The Flash is like, oh, I'm really fast.
So lightning shoots out of me everywhere, and like they kind of half-ass explain it.
And I have to eat a lot of food because I won with the Speed Force. He explained all that while getting into a car.
Yeah, and people are probably like, what?
Wait, what? Speed Force? What's going on?
Well, it's kind of like Batman vs. Superman whenever the Flash shows up and he's like, oh, wait, I'm too early, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I didn't understand what he said, so I couldn't even imagine. I knew what they're hinting at, but I was like, I couldn't even imagine if somebody who went
Well, my girlfriend said that. She said, what was that all about? I was like, I think that was the Flash coming back from the future. I don't know why he had a beard. I don't know why he had a beard there and not a beard another time when he said Lois is the key. So Batman remembered that and brought Lois back because love brings Superman back to cornfields. Love brings Superman back to cornfields. How are they going to explain that Clark Kent's alive now? Conveniently when Superman's back.
Maybe he's just going to be a loner now. He's like a
Clark
nomad.
Kent had a funeral. So did Superman. They died conveniently at the same time. Lawrence Fishburne saw this, and he's just going to hire Clark Kent back.
You think this was all done just because Zack Snyder wanted that whole, he's like God. So now like, he's like Jesus. He came back.
Maybe, but I'm more talking about Clark Kent than anybody else.
Maybe he's not going to be Clark Kent anymore. Maybe he's going to be somebody else.
He's going to be Bill Gregg. He's going to be a mild-mannered
Craig
blogger. On the. He's going to be Craig Gregg, mild-mannered internet blogger and RJ Young employee. This is going to put glasses on and then sometimes save the world from printer disasters. Well, there you go.
Well, there's that.
I'm trying to think of other like queries I had about this movie because I know everything has issues. There's not a movie out there that's perfect or anything like that.
Evil Dead is.
Evil Dead is. Tell me all the things. What is it? The part where their faces look like oatmeal?
Yeah.
All right. Matt says Evil Dead's a perfect movie. Done. Oh, you want to? Okay. I haven't seen it yet, but you got to see a week ago or so. You got to see Disaster Artist.
I did. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it really is. It probably make a lot more sense if you actually read Greg Sestero's book or listened to the audiobook.
I hear it's sort of like tragic and sad.
It really
he's
is.
like a really weird dude, and
it brings a lot of that up in the book. It's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and there's one. I'm gonna tell you, like, there's one scene in it that's actually kind of just brilliant and smart. Like, it talks in the book. It talks about Tommy and him going to acting classes, and so at one point Tommy gets up in front of everybody and starts doing Tommy Wiseau basically in front of everybody, and the director's like, you should be a villain. Look at you, and he's like, I'm not. And everybody's kind of laughing at him. He's like, why am I a villain? Why do I gotta be villain? I could be hero. He's like. And he's like, you're all villains because you won't let me be basically who I want to be. And it's like, it's actually kind of powerful.
Yeah. You think it's ironic that The Room may potentially have an Oscar nomination in the future? Because everybody's talking about James Franco being amazing.
I've heard of that. Honestly, I think Greg Sestero's impersonation of Tommy Wiseau in his audiobook was better than James Franco's. And I don't like the fact that his brother plays Mark because they look and act kind of a lot alike.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, because I think that was kind of the thing with Mark or Greg and Tommy was they were kind of polar opposites.
Yeah.
And this one, I wish they would have cast somebody else as Mark.
Yeah.
James did good as Tommy. I mean, he really did.
Have you ever seen the interviews where James Franco is hanging out with Tommy Wiseau and he talks to Tommy Wiseau in like some weird like language like that only he understands?
No.
I'll have to show it to you afterwards. He's like talking to him and he's like you say you don't like the lighting. He talks to him just like, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I hate it."
Oh yeah, there's a scene after the credits with him and actual Tommy Wiseau talking.
Yeah, he talks to him like a translator almost. Like you don't understand, and then he has to explain it to him. Like I hear he's awesome in it. I feel like he might get nominated for an Oscar, which would be ironic for The Room.
I know,
one of the worst movies ever to be like tied to an Oscar in some way.
But it's kind of cool if you go watch it and kind of see like it came from the movie actually came from a good place.
Yeah. See, I'm not a huge The Room fan. I haven't even seen it all the way through once, but like I wasn't one of the ones who champions it and goes to the viewings. But I'm more interested in this movie because I want to see like how it got made.
We need to see The Room first. I think you need to watch the whole thing.
What? Because of the scenes and stuff?
Well, it'll make some of the stuff will make more sense if you understand like what some of the jokes are.
Gotcha. I mean, I think
and if you're
by osmosis, I've seen the whole thing. Like,
no, you really have. If you've not sat down and watched the whole thing in its entirety, it's an experience.
I don't know if I have the patience for that.
You do.
I do. I watched.
If you watch it, and if you ever get a chance to listen to the audiobook is fucking hilarious.
I got the book upstairs. I haven't sat down and read it.
Or read it. You know, the audiobook's great because Greg does Tommy's voice, and it's hilarious. It just adds to the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm interested in seeing it, so I'll have to check that out.
The movie's good though. It was good. It's pretty like you said, it's pretty tragic, but it's also funny. But it's not like I was kind of afraid Seth Rogen and them would kind of put their own little stupid spin on it, and they didn't.
Yeah, it seems like it seemed like it's pretty genuine to what the book was and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
obviously they had to cut some stuff down and change a little bit, but it pretty much kind of follows the book in a shortened version.
I'll definitely have to check it out, and then we can do a spoiler cast on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
All right,
let's go eat, huh?
Let's go eat, huh? Sometimes you just want to throw a football with your friends. Me and Matt are going to go throw a football with each other.
Wearing tuxedos.
Wearing tuxedos on a rooftop.
Because if you don't, then you're a chicken. Cheep, 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 cheep.
All right, see you later.
Bye.